half of the stuff that he's saying is actually true, or at least as he believes it. So I want to believe him, but then the stories get so crazy that he's like psychically channeling a female a female Bigfoot.
I think it was in 2022. I went and met with the heads of the families. The
Bigfoot families.
Yeah. I asked them if I could get a picture of them and me together to verify that I'm with them, and I want to represent them in Congress to get them protected. They don't trust the government to do it.
I wouldn't either, friend. I wouldn't trust them to do it either, friend.
They know what these governments are about, and they don't trust them. The Foots don't trust the government.
No, I don't think any of us do. It's the most pure form of evil we've ever experienced. The U.S. government, you know. I wouldn't think the Bigfoots would trust them any more than I do. No.
I couldn't believe what I heard. I mean, from a
you can't believe what you heard. Delusion. It's so strong. It's so strong in my people right now. Delusion about Trump. Delusion about the Democratic Party. Delusion about the Republican Party. Delusion about war. Delusion about civil war. Delusion about fucking wars overseas. Delusion about who our friends are. Delusion about money. Delusion about dreams. Delusion. Pretty much delusional. You know. I'm gonna drink my hand.
Research perspective, I hit the mother flippin' jackpot.
Delusional. I want to do Tech 9 delusional. No, I can't do this without catching DMCA, which is unfortunate. Karaoke instrumental, right? Yeah, can I do the karaoke instrumental? Is that okay? I don't think it is. Not on YouTube, no. So I'm just gonna leave it be. I can do the song, I guess. We can do the song. I can rap the song, you know. Get some water real quick. Swallow water. Excuse me. I'm gonna drink this hand. I'm gonna keep this grin. But if you look at Nina closely, I'm trying to contain this beast within. I know some of y'all already knowing that I got a lot of cheese to spend, but that don't change the fact that go insane. I got a heap of sins. Please begin. I saw a glimpse in all of this when I was just yay tall, and I pictured y'all in it wall to wall, but all they said I was delusional. But the people started calling us, and I'm balling tough, but the crawling rough, and I never thought of stuff with was so enough. What the problem is, now I got them here telling me all these kids on the card, and they pumping up the volume and listen hard. When I give my heart, it is delusional. When I'm thinking I'm a boss in the biz, but I'm lost and I fake it that I'm off in the lid, but they pay the cost when it's dark at the crib. Some say to tell them to hate my people or at the gate ready for sealing your fate, for that is up for debate. Because when I make my music, it ain't no evil from Mr. Yates calling me a cult leader. I don't really know, but I'm a for sure heater, wickedness coming from Monrovia. They could blow me, but folks want a soul see us at the bottom with the devil look around. I'd be no Nina. They say I lead them to evil like I was Jimmy Jones defeating the people when I bleed in the steeple. The reason they season me ain't no decrease in my ego. My powers were good. I think would I shrink if somebody took away how good I ink, but that would never happen. I'm making it with the rapping, but they want me to collapse, and then would I sink? I hope I find what I'm looking for. Maybe I should just drink a little more. I love Delusional. That's a good song.
It's one thing to report a Class A Bigfoot sighting or present a choppy photo of the Sasquatch and say that it's him. But to actually live with them and be escorted to meet with the heads of the families, whatever that meant, was a whole different ballgame, and I had to find out more. Thankfully, whenever Stacy confronted Mike, he gave me his business card. So the next morning, I gave him a call. And to my surprise, he invited me, that's right, Andrew Callahan from Channel 5 News, to actually tour his compound and see the big feet myself. So I threw a backpack together and hopped on the next flight to Columbus, Ohio, where Stacy told me he'd be on the south side of town, and would give me a full tutorial in Bigfoot communication tactics.
The processes you have to go through to be in touch with the Bigfoot like I am. I mean, it's nuts as it sounds, I'm just telling you the way it is. If I do
Yeah, as nuts as it sounds.
something they don't like, I'm gonna get spanked. Yeah, this is paradise. I'm not trying to exploit them in any way. This ain't something you just conjure up. They do what they want. Hey, Flower, you got any friends out here? Hey, Flowers, anybody out here?
If you'd like to see our new complete documentary, Stacy's Bigfoot
There's flowers out here.
Portal, go to our Patreon, www.
I love that he never, ever insults anybody. I really like that. It's something that I can relate to. I insult people who attack me first, but I've never voluntarily ever took a shot at somebody. You understand? In my whole life, I'm the most toxic motherfucker you will ever fucking meet in your whole life. Trust me. But I've never voluntarily taken a shot at anybody before. You understand? Only the people who fuck with me first. That's it.
Patreon.com/channel5. As many of you know, we are totally independent and 95%.
Yeah, and it's good too. Thank God. I'm not interested. Sorry. Brett and Eric Weinstein, Brothers in Fraudulence by Professor Dave Explains, from 3 days ago with 318,000 views. We have a Young Turks talking about war. Tenshu 1. WordPress. Let's hear what Renfail said about Shadow Space.
Divka says DLC must be good because you're still playing. One of the best Bethesda DLCs. Love it. I'm having a great time. Matter of fact, everybody, this is the perfect time here in the live stream. We're going to take a brief moment. Normally I record these offline, but since we're here together, this is a great time for me to talk about my early thoughts on Shattered Space. Of course, I can't find my notebook when I need it right now. Here it is. Because so far, this has been an absolute blast.
Really?
Of a time. I'm putting a timestamp down here. So let's talk my way through our early thoughts so far, guys. So, obviously, the first stream I did this morning when I was here at launch, we did like 2 hours struggle busing, trying to figure out how to get the DLC to actually trigger. Once that got out of the way, there were some issues with that. Once I got that out of the way and figured out how to fix that issue, and we got playing the game, I'm now 6 hours into this stream. No crashes, no bugs, no performance issues, 0 problems. It has been an absolutely flawless experience across the board. The only issue I had was an issue that many people had, which is one of the critiques I will give them is that they did the patch and the DLC at the exact same time. There was 2 updates back to back, and that borked so many people's saves, including mine. So I will call Bethesda out on that, because they totally should have had like the DLC should have been its own patch, and then the actual bug fix patch or whatever. Because that did give me an issue, because when I loaded everything up this morning, we were all here on the stream.
Well, let's go do it. I mean, I don't need to watch somebody else talk about it or whatever. Oh, no, I canceled this, didn't I? Yeah, I know I'm not going to play this. Yeah.
And there were some issues getting it to load. But once we figured it out,
Yep.
It was literally my main save got bugged. All I had to do was uninstall the DLC, reinstall the DLC, and I was good to go, and I was in business. Once I've got logged in, and since then we've been going for 6 hours now, it's been great. So, here's some things I will say. First and foremost, it is absolutely breathtaking. So, especially coming from, there were handcrafted elements mixed in with procedural elements in the base game, and this one is completely handcrafted. So, if you've loved Bethesda's previous DLCs for like Skyrim, Obsidian, Fallout for Fallout 70, whatever. If you like Bethesda RPGs, this is a Bethesda RPG DLC. Like this, I've heard lots of people talking today in chat that this is like the best DLC that they've seen. We just had, you know, I think if you scroll up, we'll find quite a few other people talking about how much fun they're having. The weapons are cool that we've gotten so far. I'm not a huge fan of like laser guns and stuff, but there's been a lot of cool weapons that we've seen. Again, I'm only 6 hours in. I've barely progressed the main storyline at all. All we've been doing for these 6 hours, it's mostly been side quests. As a result, I haven't gotten deep enough into the storyline to really critique the main storyline so far, but I will say that there have been 2 missions where I have damn near peed myself from jump scares. The first was when you get to the main station at the very beginning. That one was kind of creepy. But the one that really got me was when you go to the mine and you're looking for the brother and you're down in the mine and it's full on like you're playing Doom or Dead Space or something. There's like shit running across your sight lines, ducking behind, and you see a shadow running past the window and you're like, what the fuck was that? And it's gone and you can hear it, you know, something in the background. And that's when we met the first of the I forget what they're calling them, the Redeemed, I think is what they're calling themselves. There's some sort of crazy experiment going on with them that one of the houses is behind, and they're super powerful. Every time I've come up across one, they've damn near kicked my ass. But that first one in particular scared the absolute bejesus out of me. It was definitely a jump scare mission, and it was so well done. Like, so well done. Like, when you finally take it out and you're like, oh man, I feel vengeance, feel justified. It was great. So they've done some really good stuff with the jump scares. The performance has been great. Like, there's been no performance issues. I am running on the Xbox Series X. I am on, I believe we favor quality, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go check my settings just to confirm that. Display, yep, we're prioritizing visuals, targeting 60 frames. I haven't really seen any issues. There's been a couple of times when you could feel the performance dip just a tiny bit, but it's been when there's tons of stuff on screen. Voice acting has been great. It's typical Bethesda voice acting. The lip sync for speech stuff has been absolutely spot on. The costumes and the armor sets are really well done. And the weapons.
I disagree.
And else. And these guys all.
That guy looks like a fucking tool, and I could have kicked his ass when I was 5 years old.
Have like the culture of.
Sorry, I'll just tell you how I feel about this imagery that I'm seeing in front of me. This guy looks like a fucking pussy who spent more money on face tattoos than his own training.
Rune is really interesting with the tattoos and everything.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but I feel like when I was 5 years old, I could have kicked this guy's ass when I was falling asleep, you know?
Everything they've got. And so far, and again, you have to be willing to slow down. Don't just
I will slow. My main problem with Starfield is the last time I played it, you glitched my save. And I couldn't, you glitched a 60-hour save. And I would start over. I like Starfield and Bethesda and stuff, but ew, that 60-hour save that you fucking borked, you know? That was kind of fucked up a little bit. And you haven't earned my trust again, you know? Maybe it's just start a new game entirely. No, I know Starfield is bad. It's not even as good as No Man's Sky or even fucking Inner Space 2 or whatever that game is called. I can't remember the name of it, but there's another Star game that's actually really good, better than even No Man's Sky. And I know those two games are better than Starfield. I don't think Starfield is going to be good. I don't care what dressing up of hand-drawn stuff you do to it. I don't think you fixed it, you know?
Slow down, and when you're talking to these NPCs,
I'm done with WoW Hardcore. I don't wanna lose work whenever I get in a fucking like a fanciful mood. You know, I don't want to lose work anymore. I'm gonna stop WoW Hardcore completely. I'd rather fight this worthless mob that doesn't even give like any kind of reward or anything like that, just because it's more fun to me. Fighting this mob is something like 10 times more fun than the entire WoW Hardcore run combined, you know? Thinking about ways that I could beat him and do stuff to him, you know? Go God damn it. Please switch to the weapon I told you to... Please switch to the weapon I told you to switch to. God damn it. Ah! Stupid Jin. Ah, I can't see my mouse. Where is it? Where's my mouse at? You're dumb.
They've got 5, 6 different options of text that you can go through, which tells you all about the planet and everything that's going on here. Coming out here into the main city, you start off with this, you know, as we go up through. This is all, you know, this reminds me of any Bethesda DLC you've ever played, right? It just feels very good. The map itself is quite large.
I am sick with a cold.
Um,
I have a head cold. I can feel it. My lips are chapped. I've been licking them for like 5 days. There's a burning itch inside of my left nostril that keeps making me think that I need to clear my nose, but I can't get the burning gone. And I think that's like some kind of cold. I think it's a cold. But I think that the cut that they used to put in the methamphetamine that I used to smoke was so weird that I think it made me immune to all colds. So now when I get like the worst goddamn, like when I get COVID, it's basically like a itch in my nose. And I really do believe this too. I think I've got something nasty like the flu or COVID or something like that. But to me, it's like a minor burning itch in my left nostril that I've got to blow out all the time. That's it. Because whatever cut that they put in the meth I used to smoke pretty much made me immune to colds and flus. You'll understand when I go 10 years without a cold and flu on stream. This will be the second one. I had COVID on stream my first year. I've had a couple of like flu-like symptoms since then, but not really anything major. This is the first one that's ever caused a runny nose or any kind of itching or anything like that, or chapped lips or anything like that. And it definitely is like a cold. I can feel that it's a cold. But it's not strong enough to make me sick. I'm too strong for this cold. And it sucks. It sucks that my body is stronger than the cold because it just feels like I'm recovering the whole time. It doesn't feel like I'm sick ever. It doesn't feel like I have a runny nose or anything at all. It just feels like I'm like recovering and that it's draining my energy. That's it.
I have on this particular map, the white areas are the ones I've explored for quests, just doing side quests. But there's a lot of stuff I haven't seen. Like there's some ruins over here on the edge of the map. And then up here, well, earlier there was a bunch of stuff over here, but I think it disappeared because I'm no longer close to here. But like, there's a structure over here. I don't know what this is. There's a whole bunch of stuff on this map alone that I have yet to explore. Again, we're 6 hours and 14 minutes into the stream. There's a lot going on here. And again, I've not even really touched the main storyline other than to advance it far enough to get here. And once I did the initial stuff that got me into the city, I just stopped the main quest, and I've just been doing side quests for like 5 hours. It's been absolutely phenomenal. And on top of that, we've got, if we go into space, I don't know how much we're going to be exploring the other areas outside of here. But we've been told that there are, I think, 50 areas. But we've got, so there's the main planet, obviously, that we're on. Which is like here, but then there's other places that we can go explore. I don't know what's on all of these. There's two basically major systems here, or two main stars with stuff in orbit. I haven't explored any of this. I haven't seen any of these things. I haven't gone to any of these places. I've only been focused on Varunkai and this main planet. So I haven't really seen anything that would make me say anything negative about this at all.
Of course not.
If I had to say,
but what about positive? What about positive?
we were trying to get it going because it broke my save at the very beginning. Other
Of course
than
it
that,
did.
I think that this
Like
has
it did
been
me.
a very flawless execution in terms of a DLC. And I know someone said somewhere in here, Divsy says the DLC adds another layer to the game. I absolutely agree. Someone said something else. United said, I find it funny so many people were claiming it was going to be so full of bugs. People say that every single time a game launches, especially with Bethesda, because they like to poke at Bethesda. And there has been, I have seen one example of Bethesda jank where I was talking to an NPC, and rather than looking at me, she was turned around looking at Andreja, who was on the other side of the room, so her back of her head was to me. And I just chuckled and went, that's Bethesda. Like, it just, you know, that kind of stuff happens occasionally, and it does not bother me whatsoever. So, from my perspective, my early thoughts on the Shattered Space DLC has been, it's been really fun. There's been jump scares, great storylines. I need to know more about the religious zealotry that's going on here. What's up with the Great Serpent? Why is everybody so creepy? You know, there's stuff going on with the Redeemed and mutations, and then there's of course the main storyline, which is everybody's trapped in this other place. I don't think they're gone. I think they're trapped. I could be wrong with that. They could be dead, but I think they're trapped in another dimension or something, because they talk about the vortex, or no, it's not, maybe it's not the vortex. I don't remember, the space in between dimensions. So and then of course they're warping in and out. I'm the only one who can hear the voice of the leader, and they all think I'm a prophesied one. So there's some fun stuff here. Like I said, I haven't seen anything negative at all. I'm not deep enough into it to know, am I going to get, is there another companion can you unlock? I don't know. Are there, more things that I can get for my outpost builds? I don't know. Are there special spaceships that I can buy here? I don't know. All the armor sets, I've only seen one. I know there are multiple armor sets, so there's obviously a lot here. My one interesting thought is that I went into this thinking that it was going to be 15 to 20 hours. I'm 6 hours in, and I've not even touched the main storyline. I'm like, man, this might be bigger than I thought it was. Now, I can't confirm that, because it could be that I'm about to run out of side quests in the next 2 or 3 hours, and then maybe there's only another 5 hours of main quest line. I don't know that yet. So I do get the feeling that this is much bigger than I actually anticipated. I've definitely not seen 50 locations. I think we've gone underground 3 times, and then everything else has been above ground just in this zone. So I don't know what they're counting as locations. Are they counting POIs as locations? Because if they're counting POIs as locations, I've probably uncovered a couple dozen. If I looked across the map, there's probably 15, 20 POIs that I've uncovered here. But I don't know if they're counting POIs as locations, or are they counting, like, you zone in, that's a location. Because, like, the Oracle would be a location. Going down in here into the, what do you call it, the Deep Gorge Refinery, that's a location. Envy Nephilim said, I think they said 30 to 40 hours story-wise with everything and side stuff. I think I saw anywhere from 60 to 80 hours. If that's true, if that turns out to be true, Envy, I'm screwed, because I got to get this done before Diablo 4's Vessel of Hatred starts. I'm going to have to hustle. If it's 50 hours, I'm going to have to bust my ass to get through this before Diablo launches. That's crazy to think about. Well, we will cross that bridge if we come to it. If it turns out to be 30 to 40 hours or more, I'm going to feel so very justified with my expenditure, because I bought the premium edition, a year ago, and this is my second. I'm on the tail end of my second playthrough here, so if we're gonna get a 30 to 40 hour experience as a baseline, man, that's a DLC. Like, that's what every DLC needs to be, like 30 to 40 hours of additional content. That would be pretty badass. Again, I can't confirm that, but I'm hoping that's the case. It feels very big from what I've seen so far. So, yeah. Early thoughts. Apart from the hiccup at launch with my bugged save, once I figured the workaround, which was to uninstall and reinstall the DLC, and then we were good to go. Apart from that, I have had a 10 out of 10 experience with the DLC so far with Shattered Space. And I don't, you know, I'm not going to nitpick and nag that and let that ruin my experience. I will just critique that and say, Bethesda, don't ever launch a DLC at the same day you're doing a patch. They need to be a couple of days apart, because that was a stupid move. I will legitimately criticize that as a stupid move. Other than that, everything has been great, and I've been having a lot of fun. And for those of you who are tuning in to the live stream, we're going to continue onwards, but I'm going to clip this out for YouTube. So if you're watching this later over on YouTube, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Daily.
Yeah, it was good. Yes, I have to go kill the Reavers. They're so annoying. I think I've got to go like all the way to the edge of the monument, way over here. That's not a Reaver, is he? No, that's a sentry. Reavers are not common. The hell was that? There's a Reaver. I couldn't even swing, man. Why do you put that many mobs? It's so stupid. Why do you put that many fucking mobs, man? I've never understood it. Why do you put 15 mobs on me? It's so fucking stupid. You know that I zoned like half of those. What? Or not zoned, but leashed. I leashed like half of those. But instead you put 15 on me. Like, why? Your monument's too big. It takes too long to fight all the way across it. It's stupid.
Streams 9 a.m. Mountain and 4 p.m. Mountain. Usually I do 2 streams a day. Today we just kept on rolling, everybody. We did 2 hours in the morning dealing with the issues, trying to sort through what was going on. I went away, downloaded everything again, reinstalled it, came back, and we've been streaming since, like, I don't know, we're 6.5 hours in now. I'm not quite ready to.
Skinner, and welcome to another Starfield video. We are just a short time away from the drop of Shattered Space, and we just got an update from Bethesda this morning that gave us 2 more details. I'm going to put together here for you some content from my live stream last night that is all the steps I'm taking to prepare for Shattered Space. That's going to cover where I'm leveling, what skills I'm going after, how I'm preparing weapons, armor, and which ammunition I'd like to take with me, the perks and mods that I'm using in those places. Also going to talk about credits and currency, the companion, who you can see ahead of me, Andreja, as well as the ship that I prepared. So I did most of that last night, probably around 12 hours ago. The updates we got today told us two really important things. One is the drop time for the update on Monday, September 30th, and for me that's going to be 10 a.m. in the morning, and that's Chicago time. And if you're on the East Coast of the United States, it's going to be a little bit different. If you're on the West Coast, it's going to be a little bit different for your time zone, but it's going to be, looks like the same time around the planet. The second thing is they actually gave us a level target for this particular DLC, and they said that 35 or above is where they think you're going to have the best time. They said you can do it at a lower level. On my live stream last night, I was kind of talking more generally on where that would be, and I'll just leave that in there and you can listen to it. But anyway, we're going to get to the rest of this, take a look at the details, and I'm going to go through everything I'm doing to prepare for Shattered Space. I'd also like to take a couple of minutes during the stream tonight and go over the, I don't know if it's 6 or 7 areas, but some key areas that I am focusing on as specific preparation for Shattered Space. And I'm just going to kind of walk through those and show you some specific places that I have looked at. If you've been on any of the earlier streams, maybe you've seen some of that as well, but this will be kind of a wrap-up because we're, I think, less than 4 days away, technically speaking, at this point in time from Shattered Space dropping. And we have seen several things in the gameplay, let's say the trailers, and in the, what is it, the Six Serpents Path videos that came out as well, and then the really cool animated clip that just came in as well. So I'm trying to watch all those and keep an eye on what might be coming and what we might see out there. And so I think the first one, and we've talked about this before, is just flat out leveling the character. He started at, I think he started at 45, and this is the character that I've been playing up through as a, you know, with the gameplay options adjusted, survival mode settings all the way from the beginning. But the preparation for Shattered Space really started around level 45, and you can see he's pretty close to 50 at this point. I think when I finished up the last stream, he was at 48, and since I was out doing some ship hunting, I had to clear 2 ships. There was a little bit of combat, and he kicked over the top for those levels. I don't think that there is a specific level requirement for the Shattered Space DLC that I'm aware of at this point in time. I would say that, you know, my target was in the 50 range. Some of that was just to get skill points that I could apply as well. But, you know, maybe as low as, I don't even know if there's going to be a bottom limit to what you're going to be able to use. If I think back to like Far Harbor, I believe that there were a series of quests you had to do for Far Harbor, and they've said that this DLC is kind of like Far Harbor, and it might just be in its size or the fact that it's all kind of in one location. But if I just think back to what Bethesda did in the past, my general impression is, you know, maybe there'll be a series of quests so that you can't walk out of Crete and, you know, go straight to the lodge, turn around and do Shattered Space. You might have to do a couple of things. In Far Harbor, you had to unlock an NPC. I think it was Nick Valentine. He was a synth. And once you went through that process and you unlocked him, you could then tune to a radio station and pick up the signal. And we know in this game we're going to get a signal for this derelict star station, or I don't know if it's derelict or not, but this damaged star station. We're going to get a signal that we can deal with and follow up on there. And we've seen that in the videos too, so that's pretty good. So could be, you know, could be something like that. Could be like they do in the main quest line where, you know, we have to do a long, let's say, grav jump. I think somewhere along the main quest line, there's Andrasia.
God, look at that horrible frame
somewhere
rate.
along the main quest line, we have to get like a 21 light year ship, and they use that as kind of a gateway or a gate to keep us from progressing beyond a certain point until we do that. So maybe that's what's going to happen with this. Maybe that's not what's going to happen with this. So just thinking about that. So I wanted to level up and make sure that I had myself at least into the 50s, and we'll take it from there. The next thing that I have been working on, and if you've been watching some of the previous streams, some of this might not be new, is I am picking up these skill points and applying them in slightly different areas. Now, I'm not paying a lot of attention to tech and science right now, but I am focusing on physical and combat. And really, my original gameplay style was very much a stealth sniper and pilot. This is Alex, loosely based on the Expanse character. So he's supposed to be a Martian pilot, and I was going down that route until Shattered Space got closer. And I didn't necessarily, stealth is useful in a variety of ways, but I really just needed to get to this next level and get gymnastics on the list. So for me right now, I'm going after gymnastics. I have done all the challenges. I have rank 3. I got that right. I should have rank 3 of 4. Yep, so I have 3 3 of 4, and I've done all the challenges, and when I get a point, if I want to, I can put it in gymnastics. On the combat side, I was already into ballistics pretty heavily, and rifle as part of the sniper build, but what I've added since then are particle beams, heavy weapons certification, and demolitions. And I think I'm 1 of 4, 1 of 4, and 1 of 4 there. But in the last stream, we also completed at least the first challenge rank on those, and the primary reason I want those is I think particle beams seems kind of obvious, probably from the purpose of it being a Varun focused DLC, right? So I expect we're going to find plenty of particle beam weapons. I'm carrying an inflictor that I picked up in Kazal, I think on one of the last streams, and so I think we're going to be using particle beams, so that's kind of an easy one to put on the list. The heavy weapons certification, there is a single trailer where we pick up a weapon called a Starstorm, I think it's called, and it looks like a heavy particle kind of Gatling gun of some sort, or a multi-fire gun, a machine gun of some sort that is a heavy weapon as well. So picked up heavy weapons and started to rank that one up, so we'll get a little bit of bonus damage on that, and if before Shattered Space comes out I can get a few more points, I'll put those into those next levels on those, so when we go into
God damn it!
We'll be ranking those up as
Can't
well.
move most of the time when you get that many mobs on me for no reason. Why? Why do you put that many mobs on me for no reason? What's wrong with you?
And the last one's demolitions. And on demolitions, we do know that there are achievements for a certain group or some new grenades that we're going to be able to make. In the
I don't
game.
have
So
enough
I wanna
repair
pick those up
kits.
as well.
Really?
And I don't know that the trajectory
Oh,
arc,
damn
I'm still
it.
getting the hang of that. It's kind of fun. And at times I don't use it correctly, but I do like, you know, the more damage, and I don't think, yeah, I've got a larger radius on this one for more damage, and I'll get more damage on the next one as well. And then the last one I've been thinking about, and this was a recommendation, maybe from Anna in a previous video, I may have that wrong, was dueling. And because there's going to be more melee and things like that in the game, I think that dueling might be useful. So I might go down this route if I get enough points. So that's going to be... This is going to be a question of how far I can go within the next few days before Shattered Space drops, how many levels I can rack up after I get the levels that I generally just want to pick up. So I think the next thing I did, and I'm going to go ahead and see if I can fast travel over this planet, was I did a little legendary hunting too. And I actually have pretty good armor, and if you've watched the video I put out earlier this week, I went ahead and picked up the DLC, mainly to show everybody what that looks like. But I did want to do some armor hunting out here, and so I've got another video on this. I don't want to go to... Is this Aranay? I don't want to go to Aranay. Let's not go to Aranay. I want to go to Olympus and to Nesoi. And I don't have a base in Nesoi at this point in time, but... Thank you. I do have a base, technically. It's just a marker. That's all it is. What is this one called? I think I called it Current Suit Farm. How about that? That's the explanation right there. So I have a previous video out a couple months ago. I think it's titled Legendary Suits, Helmets and Packs, something like that. And there's a technique if you can find a very specific type of civilian outpost. And I guess I don't have my car over here, do I? I don't have my buggy. Okay. And it's nighttime. But we'll go take a look at this real quickly. Actually, what I'll do is I'll show you on the map where I went. So it's nice and safe up here. So if I look at the local map, I basically went to Nesoi and I searched on all of the... Let me look at this. The savanna areas that had water, right? So this particular color, and they had to be savanna areas. I'm in combat right now. And I eventually found on the map this particular civilian outpost, and it has a very distinct look. I found 2 of them so far. I probably jumped around 10 or 20 times on the planet before I found both of these, and I farmed both of them. And they have a lot of water around the base and a very specific design here with a landing pad. And most of the time I find them, they are unoccupied. There's nobody on them, and you can just kind of waltz up to them and look inside. I'm going to show you what's inside these. I get my bearings straight. So I approach them from this particular direction. The landing pad is straight ahead in that direction. This has a nice long pathway. And sometimes when you come over here, something will land on the landing pad. It might be Ecliptic, Pirates, Starborn, and sometimes you can actually find friendly NPCs in here, which I have not noticed them interfering. But I'm just going to talk about the basic technique, and then we'll move back on. I'll show you what I came away with and why it's of interest to me. So you walk inside through the nice plastic refrigerator barrier, and there are 4 cases here that when you arrive the first time will be full of suits, packs, and helmets in each case. And usually I stand here in the front. I'll do a quick save at this location. Actually, I open up all the cases. If you look at it from the side, I've opened up all the doors. You do a quick save from this location, and then you just open them but don't take anything each time. And if you don't get something you like a legendary or something like that, you just do a quick restore if you're willing to do that. But you know, at this point in time, you can also trade Astras for legendary gear if you've done the first Trackers Alliance quest. So collect all your Astras and spend them there. But if you don't want to do that and you want to watch some watch some YouTube or Netflix or whatever you want to watch and spend a little time working through this process, you can cycle through this. And what I found was about 1/6 of the time, so what is that, less than 20% of the time, I was getting a legendary. And in this particular case, what I came away with was a Sentinel's Calibrated Explorer spacesuit. Wasn't too bad, but what it has on it that I care about, and this is why it's related to Shattered Space, is the minus 15% incoming melee damage. So sturdy. There are a set of perks that we can get on weapons as well as armor items that might help us in Shattered Space. And we've seen in some of the videos there are, we'll call it some berserker behavior on the part of Varun Zealots on Varun Kai. And they charge at you. They've got two melee blade weapons in their hands, and so there's probably going to be a need for a little close-in combat. They've talked about that in the trailer videos as well. So sturdy is a nice one to have. I think Sentinel might be okay. Resource hauler I'm not too worried about. On the pack side, I got 15% damage from, or minus 15% damage from human enemies, combat veteran. The carry capacity I'm not worried about. I like this one, the reactive, 10% chance to stagger nearby attackers. The other thing that they covered in the video for Shattered Space is, and these were creatures or alien creatures on the planet, but it looked like swarming behavior, right? There was a particular.
Oh, I microwaved
something. There was a particular scene where
and I forgot
the player was surrounded by a bunch of them. They were all over him. So I think anything that has some chance to proc and protect you from, I think the term nearby shows up in some of the perks as well, is worth having. And on the helmet I think I have repulsing, anti-ballistic, physical damage, ranged weapons. I'm not that worried about it. So I came here looking for some basic legendary gear, and I spent some time. I'm pretty sure I probably cycled through this 100 times or something, so it takes a little bit of time. But I walked away with this gear, and that's what I wanted in hand. And I think the other part of this is more about what I would do with the suit mods. And I have leveled up previously before preparing for Shattered Space. I have leveled up my spacesuit. Is it Spacesuit Engineering? I think that's what it's called. Let's go back to Kinnear Town. I'm just going to go in here and take a look and show you what I'm going to do on these that's a little different than normal. Because I think this is all Shattered Space specific prep that's worth doing. Oh, who's that? That's Lynn. So if I look at the spacesuit I have here, I haven't put these on here. My normal, I'm going to go back to the spacesuit if I can find it. My normal approach would be to put ballistic shielding on a spacesuit just as by default. But I think for Shattered Space, I'm going to go with energy shielding. And that's assuming that we're going to get hit with particle beam weapons as well, which I think are physical and energy, if I've got that right. So instead of ballistics, I'm going to go with that. The number 2 slot, explosive.
I like this guy. He's actually thinking about all of it. This is one of the more clear, concise playthroughs I've ever actually heard before.
Shielding, probably for the obvious reason. If I'm going to be throwing grenades, if other people are going to be throwing grenades, that might be something that's going to happen to me. Heavy shielding, all damage resistance in general. And I think in the number 4 slot, this might make me slightly sneakier than normal, so gravitic components, I think we're going to call it. I'm going to go ahead and throw these in here too. This is the helmet. Energy shielding on that one too. Let's just see if we can knock these out real quickly. It's a little sluggish today.
Welcome back.
Mowgli! The advanced Big Bang. I am jealous. I merely have a refined Big Bang at this point, so maybe I'm gonna go for hazard protection. Maybe on the Big Bang I might go out and do a little bit of that farming myself. And regeneration sounds nice. I don't think I have any skins for those. So that's the general idea, is if you're going to pick up legendaries, actually it doesn't really matter, legendaries, epics or rares, if you can get them with some of those kind of close combat, damage mitigation, or just mitigation perks, I think all those are probably worth having for Shattered Space. What do we have here? Speaking of, that's the Inflictor I picked up last time. I did happen upon this Instigating Calibrated Hard Target. That's not an advanced. The Refined Big Bang. Clearly we should amplify that one.
Yes, good to be sure you are getting the best performance.
And put Annihilator rounds in it because, you know, legal, schmeagle, why would we care? I'm not sure I'm going to use this thing a lot, but... I hope I have enough material to go ahead and...
Okay, guys, I'm going to stop here. This was a really good run. Thank you so much. I enjoyed it immensely today. I am skycat.live. I'm a full-time variety gamer all day, every day. Put me on in the background. It was pretty glorious to block 105 people today and get that whole fucking shitty side of EvE completely out of my fucking consideration, so I never have to worry about any of them ever again. I mean, I'm sure they're going to gank me, but I don't ever have to worry about them talking to me ever again. And yeah, and I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Just a reminder, this session was recorded in its 17 hour entirety, and I will be placing it on my stream right now as I end the video. Thank you. Come to skycat.live. I'm a full-time variety gamer all day, every day. Put me on in the background. Come click on the cast face to donate. Come to the Twitch or the YouTube. Give me a like, sub, or follow. And I'm going to stop the video here.